In a world that feels like it's changing faster than ever, there's one skill that's become absolutely critical: adaptability. It's really the key to not just surviving, but thriving. So in this explainer, we're going to break down what real adaptability is, where it actually comes from, and most importantly, how you can build it for yourself. Let's dive in.
So, does it ever feel like the ground is just constantly shifting under your feet? Well, you are definitely not alone. The pace of change has sped up so much that, honestly, the only thing we can be certain about anymore is uncertainty itself.
All right, so let's start with this core idea. We're living in a world that is pretty much always in motion. This isn't just some passing trend, it's the new normal.
Look, professionals, whole organizations, we're all constantly bumping up against new challenges and problems nobody saw coming. And this isn't some temporary storm we can just wait out. Nope, this is the new climate we all live and work in. So staying afloat means more than just being good at your job. It means you have to get really good at changing your job. For any company or team, the real goal is resilience. The ability to not just survive a setback, but to bounce back from it even stronger. But how do you get there? The answer is adaptability. If resilience is where you want to go, adaptability is the road that gets you there. Okay, so what does this adaptability actually look like in practice? To really get it, we need to compare two totally different kinds of expertise. First, we've got routine expertise. This is what most of us think of when we hear the word expert. It's all about mastering a set of steps and doing them perfectly, every single time. And it's super valuable for getting things done with speed and precision, as long as the environment stays predictable. But in a world that's always changing, we need something more. And that's where adaptive expertise comes in. This isn't about doing the same old thing, just a little bit better. It's about figuring out what to do when the old rules don't even apply anymore. It's the power to innovate and be flexible when you're facing something completely new. But here's the real kicker, where these two just completely split apart. It's their knowledge base. Routine expertise is all about procedural knowledge, the how-to guide. Adaptive expertise, on the other hand, is built on something much deeper: conceptual knowledge, understanding the why. See, relying only on the how is a massive risk, because when things change, those old procedures can become totally useless, like overnight. And that brings us to the secret ingredient, the very foundation of adaptability. You have to understand the core principles, the why, behind everything you do. This quote from the research just nails it perfectly. See, it's not enough to have a big toolbox full of skills. Real expertise comes from having that deep, conceptual wisdom to know exactly which tool to use, when to use it, and maybe even how to invent a brand new tool when nothing in your kit works for the new problem. When you know the why, it just unlocks a whole new level of problem solving. It lets you see the connections between totally different situations, so you can transfer a solution from one area to another. It's what allows you to stop just analyzing what's in front of you and start creating what could be.
Now, this is all great for one person, right? But how do you scale it? How does an entire organization tap into this power and build that kind of collective muscle? Well, the answer, and this is backed by some serious research, lies in building a system specifically designed to grow and share and use knowledge effectively. And that system has a name: knowledge management, or KM for short. You can think of it as the engine that turns all that individual expertise into a real organizational superpower. It's the process for creating, storing, sharing, and, this is the most important part, actually using the collective brainpower of the whole organization. And hey, this isn't just a cool theory. Independent studies, like some done in the healthcare world, found a huge positive connection between every single piece of knowledge management and an organization's resilience. So when a company gets better at finding, storing, sharing, and using knowledge, it directly gets better at adapting, at being resourceful, and at learning. It's a straight-up investment in survival. So, we know this works for big organizations, but what about you? How can you take these exact same ideas and apply them to your own career, to your own life? Because the very same principles that make an organization tough and resilient can make you, as an individual, way more adaptable and valuable. Seriously, start thinking of yourself as an organization of one.
Building your own adaptive power really comes down to a three-step process. First, you need breadth. Learn about a wide range of things, but don't just stop there. Step 2 is depth. You have to dig into the core principles, the why behind it all. You absolutely need both. And finally, step 3, take action. Apply what you know, experiment a little, and use it to solve new and interesting problems. At the end of the day, in a world that's defined by change, the ability to learn and adapt, it's not just another skill, it is the master skill.
Because when you truly understand the principles, you're not just following a map someone else gave you, you're able to draw your own.